Hey friends, welcome to my YouTube channel where we talk about jewelry as the sacred art of adornment and how to adorn ourselves for personal empowerment. And for those of you that don't know me, please allow me to introduce myself. My name is Alex Lozier. I'm a jewelry artist and magical talisman maker. And today I'm here to talk to you about the magic of rings. So maybe before you have come across one of these palmistry charts, and if you've seen one of these charts before and you're not quite sure what it means, well, one thing that you might notice upon first glance is that this chart has a lot of signs and symbols on it. And what these are astrology glyphs, or the signs and symbols of the planets and the elements. And so when we look at this chart, there's actually a lot of information here about how we can wear rings with intention for personal empowerment and to create a deep sense of meaning for ourselves when we're wearing our rings. Now, before we dive into the meanings of this chart and how we can wear our rings with intention, I just want to give a little background on my philosophy about why this can be so powerful. Well, if you have ever had your natal astrology chart read, then you know that your natal astrology chart is the blueprint of your soul's purpose in this life. Essentially, what a natal astrology chart is, it's a snapshot of the exact time and location of the sky where and when you were born. And no two astrology charts are exactly the same. So each one is totally unique, and it represents your soul's essence, your soul's purpose, and the lessons that you are meant to learn here in this life. And so when we look at our palm, essentially your palm is your astrology natal chart mirrored in your own body. And as we know, the ancient alchemists had a saying, as above, so below. And so when we're working with these two blueprints, the above blueprint of our personal cosmology, our cosmic blueprint of our natal astrology chart, and we work in tandem with our palm, that's kind of the so below piece, right? Our human experience here on earth, our soul's blueprint in our human experience, all in our palm. So there's so much juicy stuff to dive in here. All right, so when we're looking at the palmistry chart, one of the main things to note is that each planet is ruled, each finger is ruled by a planet. And so once we start to tap into which fingers are ruled by who, then we can start to realize where we may want to bring a little bit more love, attention, and awareness to that particular part of our life. If we are trying to heal an aspect of ourselves, if we are trying to manifest something, or we are trying to fire up and empower a certain part of our personality. So just to go through the fingers real quick, your thumb is ruled by Venus. So Venus is the goddess of love, abundance, prosperity, art, beauty. Your first finger is ruled by Jupiter, which is the planet of joy and expansion. So this finger has a lot to do with luck and courage, and also directing your focus, right? We usually point with this finger. So that's another something to keep in mind when we're talking about our pointer or our index finger. Then we have the middle finger, which is governed by Saturn. Now Saturn kind of gets a bad rap because it's known as the planet of limitations, restrictions, time, but Saturn also is the planet of rewards and achievement, and he rewards hard work. So if you do your due diligence, you can be rewarded by Saturn. It's the planet of recognition. And then we have the ring finger, which is famously known for engagement rings and wedding rings. This finger is ruled by the sun. So this is really about luck, prosperity, illuminating a part of ourself, and hopefully part of that illumination, about illuminating a part of ourselves, I think when we're talking about wedding rings and engagement rings, what we're illuminating is that part of ourselves that we are showing to our person, right? That person that we feel that is our other half or completes us. There's something about when we're in their energy that we can really step into our best self, right? We've heard that before. This person brings out the best in me. Well, what about you are they illuminating? What are they allowing you to see about yourself, right? Because the magic was in you all along. And then the pinky is ruled by the planet Mercury, which is the planet of communication. And it also is it's a planet and the finger of your own personal magic. And I actually think it's really interesting that you see a lot of men and kind of like gangsters wearing pinky rings. And that is, in my opinion, no coincidence, right? The finger of personal magic. And when you are a gangster or a person of influence, right, you have to carry a certain persona about you. And part of that also has to do with influencing how others perceive you. So there's a lot to dive into there. Now, depending on what your jewelry is made out of, that's also going to influence the energy in how these rings affect how we wear them and how they influence our astrology chart. And one simple tool that I like to use when I'm thinking about this is that if I'm working with a stone, is that 9 times out of 10 when we're talking about the energies of stones, that they correspond to the same chakra that is the color they represent. So for example, I'm wearing a sunstone here. This is one of the pieces of jewelry in my new collection, the Elements of Magic. So this is the fire element stone. This is sunstone, and you can see this is orange in color. And shockingly, this stone belongs to, or should I say harmonizes with, the sacral chakra, which is the orange chakra on the chakra chart. So these are just some tools and tips and tricks that you can use to start wearing jewelry with intention. So if you know that you want to work with a certain planet, or you want to call in an energy, you can start thinking about how you can work with the planets and stones to bring in the energy or the healing that you need into your life. And if you want to dive deeper into this with me, because this is just really scratching the surface of all of this juicy stuff, then I invite you to join me for my next workshop that's going to be happening at the end of July. I'm recording this in 2022. And it's going to be all about the magic of rings. So we're going to learn how to identify our personal power planets. We're going to learn how to work with these planets via our palms and wearing rings for personal empowerment. And we're also going to do a jewelry enchantment ceremony where we activate our rings to call in the energy that we need. And I've actually done this before. And I manifested a house, you guys. So the house that I'm recording this in now, I actually did a ring enchantment ceremony last year, and here we are recording this 6 months later, and my dream came true. So I do want to share this with you. So head on over to my website, alexlozier.com. I'll put the link in the description below, and come and join me for some ring magic. It's going to be a lot of fun, you guys. So thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you all very soon.